Winnie, distinguished panel speakers, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my great pleasure joining you all at today's event. Today's theme is Catching the Wave, Hong Kong as a Green Finance Hub, which is a very timely subject as green finance is one of the current administration's key policy initiatives, just mentioned by Winnie. And recently, we have also seen green bonds and sustainable finance gaining popularity and market traction in Hong Kong. Globally, green finance has been gaining prominence among governments and regulators towards building a green and sustainable world economy. The Paris Agreement in 2015 presented a newly calibrated political ambition to combat climate change and embrace unleashed business opportunities in green finance. In fact, the global issuance of green bonds in 2017 has grown by more than 80% over the previous year. Particularly relevant to Hong Kong is the fact that China has emerged as a leader and a key player in global green finance as well. Under its G20 presidency in 2016, China initiated work on green finance and launched the G20 Green Finance Study Group, co-chaired by the People's Bank of China and the Bank of England. The G20 leaders meeting in Hangzhou in September 2016 issued a communique recognizing for the first time the importance of green finance, and this played a critical role in bringing the concepts of green finance into the mainstream. Of course, the development of green industries is also proposed in China's National 13th Five-Year Plan, which covers the construction of a green financial system, the development of green loans and green bonds, and the establishment of green development funds. Further to that, in the recent 19th National Congress, President Xi reiterated the country's commitment in promoting green development. In fact, in 2017, mainland China's green bond issuance totaled $13.6 billion, which is over 20% of the global issuance volume of $169.4 billion. Against this background, Hong Kong, as the leading international financial center in the Asia-Pacific region, is uniquely placed to be the regional leader in green finance. In Hong Kong here, in equities, the Hong Kong Stock Exchange ranks first in the IPO funds raised in the past 3 years combined globally. In bonds, the 2016 amount of bond issuance in Hong Kong was $391 billion, which is slightly more than doubled that of Singapore. And in the asset management business, the AUM, asset under management in Hong Kong in 2016 was over $1.6 trillion, which is the biggest in Asia. So leveraging on a competitive capital market, Hong Kong is well positioned to become the green finance hub for raising green capital and offering green financial products for the region. And not only will Hong Kong play an important role in mobilizing capital to green projects, but our robust financial market and asset management industry will also service the growing popularity of green bond products from international investors who are increasingly focusing on sustainable investment strategies. Against the backdrop of mainland China, as mentioned earlier, Hong Kong in particular can play a pivotal role in helping issuers and investors from mainland, as well as Belt and Road region, to arrange the financing of the green projects through our capital markets. Of course, we have our advantage as the biggest offshore renminbi center, handling over 70% of renminbi offshore payments in the world. In addition, under the agreement between the National Development and Reform Commission and the government of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region for advancing Hong Kong's full participation in and contribution to the Belt and Road Initiative, signed in December 2017, We have agreed to develop a green bond market on the basis of Hong Kong's platform by supporting qualified Chinese enterprises to raise funds through issuing bonds in Hong Kong for green projects relating to the Belt and Road Initiative. Despite our strengths as an international financial center, we need to act fast to gain the first mover advantage, turning our potential into real business opportunities in green finance. To demonstrate the government's commitment in developing green finance, a government green bond program with a borrowing ceiling of 100 billion Hong Kong dollars will be launched, as announced in the 2017 policy address and stated in the 2018-19 budget. The sums borrowed under this program will be credited to the Capital Works Reserve Fund to provide funding for green public works projects of the government. The inaugural government green bond is expected to be issued in the fiscal year of 2018-19, and such issuance will align with green bond standards and guidelines widely accepted by global investors. We believe this government green bond will help to provide benchmark pricing for the markets and encourage issuers and investors to arrange financing of the green projects through Hong Kong in the future. The development of green market infrastructure is as important as the innovation of green product and service offerings. The Hong Kong Quality Assurance Agency, HKQAA, has established a green finance certification scheme to provide third-party conformity assessments for issuers on their green debt instruments, covering both pre-issuance, validation, and post-issuance certification. The government welcomes this new initiative of the HKQAA, and in fact, we encourage them to develop this certification scheme with reference to a number of national and international standards. The first certification under this certification scheme was completed for a local green bond issues in January this year, followed by 2 other transactions in the following couple of months. The certification scheme will support the integral procedure of local green bond issuance and offer an additional channel for external review. Now that, with this domestically developed green labeling scheme, local green bond issuers could more easily have their compliance assessed, benefiting from enhanced credibility, transparency, and stakeholders' confidence. In the 2018-19 budget, the Financial Secretary also announced that there will be a green bond grant scheme which will subsidize qualified green bond issuers using the HKQAA's certification scheme. We propose offsetting 100% of the cost of obtaining an external review under the HKQAA certification scheme for qualifying green bond issuances, with a grant ceiling of 800,000 Hong Kong dollars per issuance. First-time and repeated issuers with their green bonds of any tenor issued and listed in Hong Kong, denominated in any currency, at the minimum size of 500 million Hong Kong dollars will be welcome to apply. Further details of the grant scheme will be announced in due course, and we hope that the grant scheme will attract more green bond issuance in Hong Kong. Promotion and international collaboration are also key to the development of green finance. The government would make use of every opportunity to promote our competitive edges in terms of capital markets and green finance at regional and international forums, including the annual Asian Financial Forum organized in Hong Kong. This June, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority and the International Capital Markets Association, ICAP, will co-host the Green and Social Bond Principles Annual General Meeting and Conference in Hong Kong. Being held in Asia for the first time, not only does this event recognize Hong Kong as a leading international financial center, but also it showcases Hong Kong's credentials in green finance in Asia as well. In addition, the government encourages and supports industry bodies and stakeholders to organize events publicizing Hong Kong's competitive capital markets and highlighting our edge in developing green financial products as well. At the beginning of this speech, I mentioned that we have seen green bonds and sustainable finance gaining popularity and market traction in Hong Kong. Over the past couple of years, we have seen green bonds issued in Hong Kong by local and mainland issuers in the form of public offerings and private placement, and also denominated in different currencies, including US dollars, euros, and yen. And in addition to green bonds, we've also seen green loan transaction done in Hong Kong this year as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just at the beginning of the journey of developing green finance in Hong Kong. With the government's commitment demonstrated by the government green bond program, with the development of the local green finance infrastructure in the launch of the HKQAA's Green Finance Certification Scheme, with the incentives to be provided under the Green Bond Grant Scheme, and with the ongoing promotional effort and international collaboration, I'm sure the journey ahead will be even more exciting for us. I invite you all to board this high-speed train and contribute to the development of green finance and sustainable development. And I would like to thank the organizers today, Civic Exchange and the HKUST Institute for the Environment, for organizing today's wonderful event. I wish you all a fruitful morning. Thank you.